Hello, in the following video we will see the Search and Discovery app. This is a Shopify app that will let us configure the default search, sorting and filtering functionalities of a Shopify store. The app is made by Shopify, so it is free to use and can be installed in any store. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is to install the app. For this I have this development store set up and I will click on apps over here and look for Search and Discovery. This will open the App Store and I will click on install so I can install the app in my store. Then I will pin it over here so I have it easily available. So the first thing we'll do is to configure the filters. For this, I will click over here on filters. And by default, we have these two filters, availability and price. These filters are shown in the collections page and the search results page, although they can be disabled in any of these from the theme settings. Then over here, if you click on any of these filters, you are able to rename the filter or to remove it altogether. For example, let's say we want to rename the availability filter to a stock condition. And if I save this, and after waiting a second, we will be able to refresh this page. And over here, we will see a stock condition instead of availability. So I will refresh the page. And over here, you see that we now have a stock condition. And we have either in stock or out of stock. And even though we rename this, the source of this filter, the data source of this filter is still availability. So this only renames it for the theme, for what the customer can see. But internally, it will still be its original name. And if you wanted to remove a filter, you can just click on this button and confirm. And after waiting a moment, the filter will no longer be seen over here. So if I refresh here, we can see that the availability filter or stock condition filter is no longer shown. And the same is happening in the search results page. As the filters are shared across both pages, you can see here that after refreshing, I no longer see the availability filter. Now let's add a filter. For this, I'll click on Add Filter and we can select the data source we want. So over here, you can see all the different options we have. You might be seeing more or less options because over here, these two options are product Metafield. So depending on the product metafields you have defined in your store, you will be seeing something different at the bottom of this list. And also over here, this will change depending on the type of products you have because this is a product option. So these products have a color and denominations option, but if you don't have products with those options, you will see something different over here as well. So let's enable the color filter over here. And you can see that now we can save this or we can group the different values together. For example, if I wanted to group these two, I can do so and then create a group over here. So let's name this group 1, for example, but you can name it however you want. And now customers will see group 1 instead of done and nice for this color filter. So let's save this. And let's see how that looks like in the collections page. So let's refresh this page. And over here, you can see that now I have a color filter and I have these product options, but now instead of done and eyes, I see group 1. So if I select this, I'm going to see this product because this product is the one that has all of those color options actually. But if more products had the color option, then those will have appeared in the filter as well. And if you go to a collection where a filter is not relevant because it doesn't apply to any of the products shown in there, then Shopify will hide the filter. For example, in this collection over here, none of the products have a product option with the name color. Therefore, the color filter is hidden. Next, let's see the More Filters filter. So for this, I will add a filter and let's select More Filters. As you can see over here, this is coming from the tags, from the product tags, but it is renamed to be More Filters. You can rename it to be anything else you want. And it has this special menu over here. So by default, it is using the AND condition, meaning that if the customer selects more than one value for this filter, it will only show products that have all of those product tags. But if you select OR, then it will show products that have at least one of those product tags that the customer selected. And here you can see all of the different product tags that are in this store. As more tags are added, this list will update automatically, so you will not need to come here and manually add new tags. You can also sort it either automatically or manually. So if I select manually, then I can move this filter to the top if I want, for example. So now let's click on Save and let's see how this looks like. So after refreshing the page, we can see that we now have this More Filters filter. you can see that it is sorted the way I did. So winter is at the top, and I can select anything from here, and it will show me the products that have this product tag, such as this tree for the snow tag. Now let's see something related to Metafield filters. So for this, I will click on Add Filter again, and if I select Source, you can see that I have these two Metafield filters available. However, if I go to Settings over here and click on Custom Data and Products, you can see that I have 7 Metafield definitions, but only 2 show over here. The reason for this is because if we go to the documentation here, only these type of metafields are supported for filtering. So for example, a snowboard length is of type dimension, and you can see that I don't have a snowboard length over here, and that is because if we go to this list, we don't see type dimension over here. So we cannot use metafields of type dimension to create a filter from. We also see these metafields over here that are not showing in this list. And the reason for that is because these are standard metafields, so they do not appear over there. For example, you can see that this one has this reserved namespace and I cannot edit it. Actually, it is managed by a Search Discovery app, so it does not show in this list over here because Shopify uses this internally for something else. Now let's see visual filters. For this, we will need a metafield that is a meta object reference. That metafield can be a category metafield, it can be a product metafield, or a variant metafield. For some category metafields, the meta object is already created in a way that meets the conditions listed here. But if you want to create a custom category filter, then make sure to read all of this so your metafield and meta object definitions match all of these conditions. So to configure the product category, I will go to this product, the one with the color option, and add it to this category over here. You can see that now I have this color category metafield available. So I will save this. And now in the product option of color, I will click this and click on this connect to metafield. And I will click on color. And now I can give a color to each of these items. So for example, let's add a new entry for the color eyes. Let's select some blue like this. The base color in this case will be blue. And let's save this. And I will do the same for all of these items next. So now I have populated all of these colors. For the down one, I selected an image so we can see how the image looks like in the visual filter, but for the rest of them, I just selected a hex value for the color. So I will click on Save over here. Now let's go to the Search Discovery app and click on Filters once again. I am going to go to Color and remove this option. And I will add it again. And you can see here that it now says Category Metafield. And you can see that we now have this list of color values with this swatch image at the left. And this one shows like blue because it is a group value, and the default image for blue is just a blue swatch. However, we can change this if we want. So I click on this, I can select down to have the down filter, which has an image set to it. So let's click on down over here. And for the image to show in the page, we'll have to click on Manage Values and use images when available. And click on Save. So now, after refreshing this page, you can see that in color over here, I have my visual filters, and I can select blue, for example, which has this image, and I get this product. And in case the visual filters are not showing in your theme, it could be because you are using an old version of a theme or just using a theme that doesn't support this feature. For example, Dawn added support for this feature in late 2023 in version 12. So version 11 and earlier did not have this feature. In those cases, some code will need to be added to the theme to make sure this feature works as expected. And now going to settings, the only filter-related setting we have is how to handle empty values. So if a filter value will produce no results, we have the option to either hide it, show it at the end, or show it in the default order. Next, let's go to search. So we have two options related to search over here. We can either boost a product or create synonyms. So let's first boost products. So over here, let's create a product boost. For this, we can select a product over here, such as this one. And let's say that we want to show this product when the customer looks for something such as test. If I add this and click on save, we will have to wait a moment, but if I then search for test, I should be seeing this product over here. So you can see over here that if I look for test, I get this result. And the same if I go to the search page. I get this result even though this product doesn't have the word test anywhere, not in the product title, description, nor in the text. So this could be useful if you think customers might also refer to a product by a different name. And for synonyms, we can create synonym groups. So let's create one over here. Let's give it a title, such as Group 1. And over here, let's use the word snowboard. And let's make it a synonym with the word item. So I will add both of these and click on Save. Now, if I look for item, then I should get the results for snowboard. The Group 1 title is just a way to identify this group in the admin, but it is not useful in the front end over here. So after waiting a moment, if I look for item, you can see that I get the result for snowboards, the same as if I will have looked for the word snowboard. And when it comes to settings, we have the following settings related to search. So in the search results, we can decide to hide pages, products, or blog posts. By default, they are all showing, but you can disable them from here by unchecking these checkboxes. And for the predictive search, which is what you saw over here, this is the predictive search. And if I press enter, this is the search page. You can disable any of these things if you want to. And finally, you can decide how the out-of-stock products show, either not at all at the end or mixed with all other results. Finally, let's see the product recommendations section over here. These recommendations control what the customer will see in a section such as related products, which is using the product recommendations API. So for example, we see here these 4 products, and if I go over here to the 3P fulfilled snowboard, which is the one in this page over here, we are going to see these 4 products at the top in the same order. And now if I wanted to add another product, such as this one, and move it to the top, then we have that one, the selling plan SKUs, as the first recommended product, and then we have these other ones which are auto-generated by Shopify. After updating that list, if I refresh this page, we're going to see that the first product I see is now the selling plan SKUs, and then the auto-generated ones by Shopify. And if I wanted to disable auto-generated recommendations, I can go over here and hide them for this product. So if I click on save, you can see that now they are hidden for this product, but for other products, such as this one, we still have the auto-generated recommendations. So after refreshing this page, we are only going to see the one that I added manually. And those recommendations that I added manually can also be seen in this Metafield over here. If I click on View All, you can see that related products over here, I can add another product manually, click on Save, and that will be also reflected in this page. After I refresh, we see that we now have this other product as a manual product. And only showing manual recommendations can be controlled from this related product settings Metafield. So over here, I can click on this, and I can either select ahead, which will show auto recommendations, or only manual, which will not. So if I save this again and refresh this page over here, we are going to see that now auto recommendations are being shown again. And knowing that this is coming from a Metafield can be useful if you ever need to bulk edit this information or import it from somewhere else. And that covers pretty much everything the Search Discovery app can do at the time of recording. As you can see, it is a pretty powerful app and offers a lot of functionality for free. So if you found this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe for more Shopify related content, and I will see you all in the next one.